IVM.
The Pragati Podcast with Pawan and Hamsini. They look at economics and politics. It sounds boring, but we're not sure if it really is. New episodes out on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Alright, please note that the language and ideas presented on the show might not be suitable for everyone. If you're under 18, make sure your mom isn't around. If you're over 80, why is your mom around?
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
On Cyrus Says, we introduce a new baritone, which is me. Also, the IPL special, where we have people who love their teams, fans who are fanatical, talking about why they love and why they hate on the IPL. Also, if you want to just skip to our cock and bull section of this week, check out our description for a time code, which will appear.
Why follow your auntie's advice when you can follow Cyrus Says on Facebook and Twitter to stay updated about the latest shows?
Here on Cyrus Says, the summer is upon us, as you very well know. We're all suffering. And I have a request to everybody. When you can see people are sweating and in pain because it's just too hot, at least where we live in Mumbai, the humidity is unbearable. Can you stop with the pleasantries? Don't come and say hello, how are you, have an unnecessary conversation. Makes no sense. You can see that we're all suffering. So I say April, May and middle of June, we don't talk to each other. We don't say hello and goodbye unless it's necessary conversation, you know. Like if I hit you with my car, then I say, are you okay? Can I call a doctor? Fair enough. But otherwise, stay away from each other for 2.5 months. It's just too hot to talk. It's called Cyrus Says.
And that's what Cyrus Says.
Okay, welcome to Cyrus Says, a show that I've named in my own honor, which just shows you what kind of egotist and narcissist I am. But unfortunately, the show is still running. We do have a very special edition today. It's called our IPL special, because we're the only people in the whole of India who are doing anything with the IPL. Nobody else does it. There's no news channel, no sports channel, no radio channel, no, just us. It's exclusive. With me today, we've got a gentleman who's come all the way from Hyderabad by bus, 15 hours. He's developed hemorrhoids. His behind is completely battered and bruised. But he wants to be on this show because he's a lover of Chennai Super Kings. And this is how Narendra Modi's blueprint for a happy India is coming true. Because we have a Hyderabadi who loves Chennai coming to Mumbai to talk about it. I think this is the pan-India I wanted growing up. And even more pan if you want, and I don't mean P-I-N pan, that's listening to the show. Even more pan, Mohnish is somewhere in Philadelphia, which is no longer part of India. And he is staying up at 1:30 in the morning, their time, America time. And he is going to talk about his favorite team, which is not the Los Angeles Lakers or Clippers, but turns out to be Kolkata Knight Riders. This is the power of India. This is the power of Achhe Din, and this is the power of the IPL, that people from Philadelphia and from Hyderabad can talk to an idiot in Mumbai over it for a few minutes. I thank you, God. What a wonderful world it is. Mohnish, first let's say hello to you because, I don't want to keep you up for too long. And no double meaning in that. How are you doing? So, carcinogenic for sure. We'll come to the funeral. Monish, very American, huh? They live off caffeine. Not like us, young man. Not like us. Now, 4 years for a 1-year course. That's a bit long. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let's meet Omkar. Omkar is really tired because he's been on I don't know if you've ever done domestic buses across India, and they can be quite painful. And he's been 14 hours on a bus from Hyderabad to Mumbai, leaving the... You have. So you know what he's been through. And the heat of Hyderabad, my mother-in-law is in Hyderabad, Banjara Hills, where the rich live. Yeah. And don't want to show off. And I must tell you the heat, because we used to go there in summer, I haven't gone for a couple of summers. It's as bad or worse. It's a dry heat, isn't it? It's terrible here.
Yes. It has become more worse these days.
And if you notice in the IPL, there are more mosquitoes in that,
Gujarat and Mohali are more mosquitoes, insects thing.
Tu Gujarati hai? Gujarati... Malayali Gujarati. Listen, this program is all about integration. We made that clear from the beginling. I think we've done the right thing. Okay.
We almost covered 11 states now.
We have we? Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's get into it. This is IPL time in the middle. This while we record, it's the second week starting sort of, and things are looking rosy for Chennai. They began really well. Omkar?
No. Actually, I think they are really confident in their camp also, because first 2 matches also they won really close matches. Third one also
Almost won.
Yeah, almost won. Because at a point of stage, like they are very far away from winning. Like 3 overs, 55 runs is like almost impossible.
So Dhoni brought them back from the dead.
Yeah,
and they've done this 3 times in a row in a sense. You think that they're out of the game, but they've almost won the third and won 2.
Yeah. And important thing is like 3 times 3 different players have done it. Like
we had Bravo, we had Billings, and we had Dhoni.
Yeah,
excellent. Good point. So you're saying confidence is up. Don't look at the results. It's early days yet.
Yeah.
They look like a team who are going to chase down anything.
Yeah.
And they must be having that belief.
Yeah.
A lot of X-factor players, the 3 we have mentioned, Billings, Bravo for sure.
Yeah.
And of course Dhoni. People are saying Dhoni too old, but he showed us 79 it was?
79.
Or
79
40
from 44.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
All right.
And we still have Raina to come and hit something.
That's if you guys play him.
Yeah, no. He'll come like after next match.
A professional fielder also.
Yeah, professional
Fantastic fielder.
He can give 2 overs.
And 2 overs of spin. Mohnish, time to butt in. Kolkata at the time of recording had a good night. Maiden over, Trent bowled up front, and the last over I think 1 or 2 runs. But 18 overs got them 200 runs, basically. Yeah, let's talk about Robin for a second. Robin had a I thought was the impetus of that innings with that 35. He just turned the game around actually because they were struggling. Lynn wasn't getting the ball past the fielders, and Narayan got out early, and they were sort of struggling at that point. If you look at the score, and he actually turned the Go ahead. And those were big sixes, huge sixes. Two went huge, yeah. One went past the TMC office, one went past the BJP office. I thought it was a very classically executed shots. Also, do you know that Robin's elder brother also played for cricket? His name is Batman. Don't laugh at that. Mohnish, I'm sorry, it's late for you. Have a drink. Caffeine won't help. You need something stronger. Okay, let's get back to Omkar. Are we allowed to talk about that? Yeah, it's a podcast. Yeah. Black label, white label, we're all God's children. Omkar, quickly, let's talk about the opposition here. What's your feeling about Kolkata?
Kolkata actually, like, they have good middle order. Like, they have Indian players like with Dinesh Karthik.
So you're saying DK and Andre Russell are the big, and Robin, these 3?
No. Usually in IPL, like, I feel Indian players are more important. Like, Robin,
I think you're right.
they have 3 important Indian middle players. Like,
okay, so DK, Robin and
Nitish Rana.
Oh,
like,
we
he
forgot
played
Nitish
really,
Rana.
really
He played
great
superbly.
in yesterday. Like, he also done really well for Mumbai Indians in the past 2
I'm amazed they didn't keep him. I'm amazed that Mumbai didn't keep him.
Yeah.
If you look at him as a real cricket lover, he's a value for money player.
Yeah.
You get the bang, sorry about the phrase, Naveen, bang for the buck, for sure. He gets upset about these things. But let's praise the opposition for a second. What are your worries when Chennai takes on Kolkata? What are your worries? Because like Mohnish has pointed out, they don't have the biggest names, but Sunil Narayan is now like a proper all-rounder.
Yeah.
Chris Lynn in the Big Bash at least has really delivered, and you can hit the ball really hard. And you spoke about our 3 Indians in the middle order.
Yeah.
And for me, Andre Russell is the player of the tournament.
Yes.
He's going to be the most dangerous player. This is my prediction. I may be wrong.
Just now we are speaking like 18 overs, 200.
Yeah.
And he scored like
12 balls, 41. Yeah,
12 balls, 41. 6 sixes.
Yeah,
Just 6
yeah.
sixes. He
My
played 12
God.
balls, 6 sixes. Like,
And
great.
clean hits. That guy can really hit the ball.
Yeah. Even in Chennai match, like, he was hitting really well. Like, I was praising them. I was praising KKR.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
By the skin of their teeth. Yeah, you can look at it from that perspective. Yes. point slightly further. What he's saying, I think, please correct me if I'm wrong, is that they got out of jail twice. You look at it from the point of view that they should have lost, and Bravo just played out of his skin. And then, you got a little lucky maybe with Kedar in the last over. And similarly, in the second match, Sam Billings played out of his skin. He probably won't play like that again. Yeah, probably won't have an innings like that. And in the third one, you get caught out in spite of that 79 or 44.
Yeah, but important thing is like they have already 4 points on the table, right? Like, we can't easily get 4 points. Yeah, because brother, 2 wins is like really important.
Omkar, you tell me honestly, you got 14 games to play. Yeah, and in 14 games, how many times is luck going to favor you?
No. Actually, already 2 times luck has favored them.
Yeah. Is Chennai going to run out of luck?
Yeah. No, it's not luck. Like, they can win.
Like they've run out of politicians.
No, there are too many now. Like,
too many. The converse is true. But it's all perspective. Like you said, they played, because this 2020 is all about close matches. You're going to have like most of them being close. And they seem to be good when it's close.
Yeah.
And even when they're against or behind the ball, so to speak, behind the 8 ball, to use the snooker expression, they're able to stay afloat, which most teams may not do. You sort of, don't come back. But Chennai has that ability, and I think that's self-confidence.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Highly underrated, you're right. Yep. Billings is a keeper batsman for what it's worth, yeah. And Mohnish, you look at it this way, if you want somebody batting the death for you, you've got guys like Billings, you've got guys like Bravo, and Bravo has to be considered as one of the greats of T20 cricket of all time. You've got someone like Dhoni. Dhoni is one of the most mentally strong cricketers the world has ever seen. Yeah. These are guys who finish matches. Yeah. Whatever you say about Dhoni, his powers are fading. At the end of the day, you know that he's mentally strong and he's the guy you want in the battle. Yeah. Like we said, forget win or lose. There's no doubt that the lion has still got some teeth left before people pull him down. Yeah.
So can I say some minus about KKR?
Now time, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, we'll say.
Yeah.
We don't have a baja. We don't even have a live band because we have no money. We don't. Our one guitarist left because he got a better job. So what we'll do is we'll play some intricate music as we go into the skeptical side of the whole thing, which is now Omkar can't bear it anymore. As a true Chennai supporter via Hyderabad, he is going to attack Kolkata. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, KKR is the only team like performed very badly on auction table. Like they used their all money on like few players.
They burnt their boats fast.
Yeah. But now they don't have any replacement. Like you have Shubman Gill in playing 6th or 7th. Like he's not a 6th or 7th.
That was a waste of a position. Yeah. Under 19 champion, all that. Yeah.
And we have Shivam Mavi also. Like he's just came from under 19.
Where does he go? Yeah.
Last match they gave him only 1 hour. Like what can you do?
But maybe what you said in the beginning is what the answer to that is, which is they're investing in these guys for the second half of the tournament. Yeah, maybe Gill will bat up and
already Russell have some niggles already. Like
I cannot believe Russell will play 14 matches.
Yeah, that is a problem. Like Chris Lynn also. Like if we do some dive in the boundary, like
injury prone.
Like, gone.
I'm worried for Sunil Narayan as well.
Yeah, bowling action.
Not a natural athlete. Being called.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that for a second. Mohnish, what about this Sunil Narayan's action? He's gone from a mystery bowler to a batsman who occasionally bowls, and the mystery is more on the batting. But worth his while in the side as a spinner, with the batting as a bonus, still for you, or is it now batting and yes, he does bowl as well?
No, Sehwag.
So you put him up with a guy who's got 2 triple centuries in Test cricket.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Sunil Narayan can't play fast bowling. He'll just smack only spinners.
I don't know if that's true. He still made 5-6 scores over 30, which is what they want at the top. Yeah. For me, it was the Robin blitz in the beginning and the Russell blitz in the middle with Rana holding it. That was it. You lost 2 overs. Frankly, it's an 18-over performance. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah. But Manish, that's fair for any team. You're looking at 4-5 nucleus, which is the main stars of the team. But no team is giving you 11 players who are all playing exactly at the same level.
No, because even 1-2 single bad overs may lose the match. Like we have already seen, like Vinay Kumar 2 overs lost total KKR match against.
Are you one of the guys who trolled him?
No. I'm not
living in Hyderabad.
No. I'm saying like if you have a single bowler who can't bowl full
Fair
potential,
enough.
like you can lose a match easily.
For me, when Trent Bolt starts with a maiden over, this is a huge advantage. Starting that too at the top, puts pressure. You could see the pressure on him. You could see his body language was changing. He was getting irritated and all that.
He got some swing also.
Whatever. Fair enough. Well, he is. He's the best left-arm swing bowler of the ball. Let's face that. But the point is, I'm saying that you lose 2 overs and you still make 200, which is tremendous. Which means that Kolkata has some serious ability. And like Mohnish was pointing out, it's the 5 key players. But those 5 key players are key for everybody. You got 4-5 guys who are going to win or lose the tournament for you. Let's face it. Right, Omkar? Go ahead. Yeah. No, I think, and DK is not really fired as much as we expect, and he's been very consistent in the IPL. So the DK factor will also come into it as they play matches.
Yeah, he's also great captain. Like he's captaining really well. Yeah. Yesterday also, some of his tactics were really well.
But when you got 200 on the board, it's always a little easier to captain, right? It's like Lloyd having 4 fast bowlers.
Even in the first match again, RCB, he gave suddenly from nowhere he gave bowling to Nitish Rana and he took 2 wickets. Yeah.
This is a Tambram stereotype you're bringing up now. Come on.
And also, Cyrus, what I believe is yesterday night KKR has really good game. So everyone is believing KKR is good. If they have a bad game, even everyone loses belief. T20 is always good.
Uttar Pradesh's greatest philosopher Shakespeare ने एक बार कहा था कि one swallow doth not a summer make. So is that your point? Don't get overexcited.
Yeah. One good game, we really feel this is the great team.
Omkar, sorry. Yeah. Listen, 75% success rate, if you say that the third match was almost a win match, even though they didn't, 75% success rate will give you the title. Let's face it. This is T20. You're winning 3 out of 4 or 2.5 out of 4. If you can actually take a figure like that, you should get the title.
Yes.
Because it's a close tournament.
Yeah.
There's no question. Listen, Mohnish, we're running out of time. So last words for both of you. I know for you it's sleep time, but for Omkar, Bichara has to go back on the bus 14 hours back after 20 minutes here. It's like my wedding. It's just not worth it. So quick words, Mohnish, on the tournament as it plays out now, you've seen the form of both these teams. Chennai, how do you rate Chennai for going all the way? So the bowling unit of Hyderabad has impressed everyone. And I think what he's saying also, and again correct us if we are wrong, or correct me if I'm wrong, Hyderabad has the bowling potential to win on any wicket and in any condition. Is that it? Yeah. Omkar, would you like to argue with that?
He said he don't trust Chennai, they can't go to finals, but even up to 17
his point is then they have to win 3 in a row at some point, and 3 in a row may not happen.
Yeah, but losing Kedar Jadhav is big blow already.
Yeah, they don't have that.
And also they took the team with whole spinners. They can take a spinner track in Chennai, but they lost Chennai now.
But people have been seeing that for years. That Chennai, the one-sided thing, slow bowlers in Chennai, outside Chennai.
Yeah, but already they lost another advantage also that they had.
For me, they've got the best death bowler in the tournament, possibly, in Dwayne Bravo. And he continues to do so as he did yesterday. They've got the spinners when the conditions apply, but they've got a cracking middle order. Which people are, end of the day, the middle order is winning you the game.
Yeah.
Chasing it down. Okay, quickly, last words, Omkar, on your team.
Yeah, I feel SRH has good bowling lineup, but I think it's fairly balanced sides. All 10 are fairly balanced sides. I thought KKR is a little weak, but already they have proven really good all this.
Okay, on paper weak, but fighting above their weight.
I think this is the best IPL so far.
I think you're right. I think
all the 10, all the 11.
And Mohnish made a very good point. He's backing Punjab. Punjab has a terrible record out of the teams we mentioned.
No, I feel Rajasthan has little edge because they have Stokes, Butler. And
Yeah, who haven't fired.
Yeah, who haven't fired
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, and the Indian boys are firing. Sanju Samson was touted 4 years ago as being the best wicketkeeper batsman in India, young batsman.
Yeah, and
Rishabh Pant and all have gone ahead. My personal feeling is at the end of this IPL, if Sanju Samson continues like this, we'll start looking at him again properly.
Yeah.
For all three formats, because he's that good a batsman.
Yeah, but he's not consistent. But I feel Krishnappa Gautam is like really good player. He's still...
Mohnish is half Malayali, so he's going to agree with us on this one. Sanju Samson, Zindabad. Find a reason to be regionalistic. Super batsman, yeah? Yeah. Yeah.
He has good Ranji season also. Like
Had a good
coming
Ranji
from
season.
good domestic
Had a bit of
seasons.
a domestic disputes with the bosses in Kerala, but that's another story. That happened last season. He walked out of a match and all that. But this is now going to happen with officialdom in India.
Yeah, but I think like they have Shreyas Gopal and Krishnappa Gautam from Karnataka.
Yeah,
like,
with
they
the
are really
spin
good bowlers.
twins.
And
What a season they've had. We forgot about them.
Yeah,
Yes.
still Krishnappa Gautam didn't fire. He's really good tonker of the ball. Like he can hit good sixes and fours.
Yeah.
Like, he's good tall
You
guy.
could consider him a proper all-rounder.
Yeah,
He's
proper
made
all-rounder.
centuries,
Krishnappa Gautam is... And they bought him for good 6 crores.
6
6.5
crores? When I heard that, I was like, is it Krishnappa Gautam or just Krishna? It is amazing to pay that kind of money. All right, guys, listen, we've run out of time. Thank you for being on our IPL special. Mohnish, enjoy Philadelphia. It's always sunny in Philadelphia, apparently, but it's 2 in the mornings. I guess it's not. One degree also. Okay, so hug the girl who's next to you, even if it's just like a teddy bear. That's not the point. The point is to... So already separate rooms. Looking good, bro. Looking good. All right. Cheers. Thanks for joining us. And of course, thank you, Omkar, for coming all the way from Hyderabad.
Yeah,
and
really pleasure meeting you, Cyrus.
Thank you. Pleasure's mine. And may the best team win.
Yeah, may the best team win.
I was talking about 2019 general elections, but we'll go with this.
No best teams then.
That's also 2020, brother. Coming soon. All right. We'll take a break. We'll be back.
Previously on Keeping It Queer, Prince Manavendra Singh Gohil shares his story of coming out and finding acceptance. So was that when you decided to publicly talk about your orientation?
No, I mean, I wasn't even aware till then.
Correct.
Because I was so much closely protected and guarded all the time that there was no chance for me to even, you will not believe, even on my honeymoon, that I had a secretary, I had my driver and my personal assistant accompanying me on the honeymoon. Imagine. So even a thing like honeymoon is so, it's not, you don't get to have your privacy.
Listen to new episodes of the Keeping It Queer podcast every Thursday on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Okay, back here on Cyrus Says, I'm joined by Team Cyrus Says. Not the team I chose, but the team that turned up.
You got.
Yeah, there you go. Amit. Naveen, of course, our producer, and Priyanka, who
Hi.
occasionally dabbles in this show for some
Yes,
reason.
yes.
But is highly opinionated.
For some reason.
A strong feminist. And, you have to be very careful around her, I'm told. Priyanka ji, sawal kya hai?
Exactly, that's my G. My surname is G also. Is that why you said
Oh,
it?
It's a birthday today, by
You
the
sound
way.
like a mobile brand.
Priyanka's
Oh, it's your
birthday.
birthday. Happy birthday, Priyanka.
Priyanka.
Happy
It's not my
It is
birthday.
your birthday.
Facebook is
Clarify,
spamming
clarify.
me. It's not my birthday. My birthday is later in
Stand-
September.
If
Sta-
Facebook says
stand
it's
in-
her birthday, then we have to believe that.
Let her stand in front of the Senate and the Congress in the US and make her point.
Exactly.
What has Facebook done to you? Tell us everything.
I think the leak has reached me. It's leaking fake information
Exactly.
about me.
It's
Mark.
stolen
Do you
information
blame-
and given the wrong
Do you
information.
blame Cambridge?
Exactly. It has
I
nothing to
cannot-
do with that.
I
right?
cannot
Of course
change.
not.
No, I did not. Why would
One
I
sec, but
fake
is
my
Cambridge
birthday?
Analytica responsible or is it the BJP and the Congress?
I think everybody is responsible.
So they've conspired all the forces of
They've
the world.
conspired
You
against
just-
the poor me. What have I done?
I don't know.
Yeah,
but
even I don't know.
It's Shakespearean up to an extent and then it just drops the story. All right, so let's clarify here because there are people who want to know. I don't know why though. Your actual birthday, Priyanka Ji's actual birthday is September 10th.
Yes.
And somehow or the other,
It's landed
Facebook
up
using its
17th
data,
April.
you know how Facebook is able to see what you're doing when you go to the toilet, how long you were in, etc.
That's gross.
Who you're sleeping with. It's true.
I'm sure, but
that's-
I
that-
don't want to.
No, that is the issue. The right to privacy.
It
You can't
does
run away
know
from
that,
it.
right? I mean, they know that the first time people open Facebook in the day is when they're sitting on the pot. So
Pot,
they
yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
This is not.
Someone was definitely sitting on the pot when they were updating my information,
Which would be you.
which was not me.
No, in a third world country.
You were on the pot, on pot. That's why this
I
happened.
was
one sec.
sleeping. I'm
Let me
never
just.
on pot.
You guys are being absolutely, in my word, you're being bourgeois and wrong because in India a lot of people squat. on the pod. So let's just get this right.
Okay, I
Or you say
I
North India,
like
squat. Sorry, you were saying, Priyanka.
No, can we get on to the real
But I just want to
topics
clarify
of
your birthday. So her
discussion?
birthday, Kripa, yeah, ध्यान दीजिए. Priyanka ji ki birthday had September 10th and not what was it?
17 April.
April
आज का
17th.
date.
Okay, 17 April has been cancelled, and
ji.
we move on to your birthday. So you're not even born yet. September 10th, coming soon, is your birthday.
Coming. Yes.
Now move on.
Yeah.
Leaking information the right way.
All right, Cambridge, go on.
So the first is the Asifa case, which is just too tragic to even read about. And I mean, there have been protests all across the country.
Yeah, but can I very quickly get in here and say the first problem I'm having with all this is why was everybody silent in terms of the ruling party? That is the real issue here. Not to say that we can ever condone rape, but I'm just saying that there are evil monsters out there all over the world. But how come everybody was silent, and how come they tried to wash it under the carpet? That's something that has to be examined.
That I think is a problem, but I think the problem of silence is definitely there, right? They should have definitely reacted earlier than they did. But at the same time, I think to expect a reaction to every case, right?
But I mean, this is the most vile, disgusting thing in the world.
The thing that
your reaction should have been immediate, and it should have been absolutely without prejudice in one direction.
The reaction should have been to the fact that there was so much support for the people being charged for rape.
Yeah.
That's where the reaction needed to come, right? I mean, like, to me, I mean, like, yeah, it's a disgusting and it's a heinous crime. And I mean, like, it is, it's horrendous.
I can't think of anything worse. I thought about it. What could be worse than an 8-year-old being disfigured and humiliated and destroyed in this manner?
Nothing.
And what kind of evil?
Inside a temple of all places, which is just like...
Those metaphors, I mean, to get into that. I'm just saying, but we all know there are terrible people out there. We all have people in our lives. We wouldn't mind if a bus hit them. But this kind of evil is beyond compare. I mean, I just can't understand. I just can't get to grips with it, frankly speaking.
No, it is. It's terrible. It's horrendous. But I mean, like, the fact that there are people protesting to kind of protect these people, right? That to me is like the craziest
The shame of the country. And did you guys follow both on the internet and on international television news channels?
Right.
A lot of foreign press and foreign people. Ultimately it makes us look really bad because the story is carried as Indian lawmaker, and then etc. and then the group.
So
that
New
was
York
involved.
Times had this article headline, right?
Indian. The word Indian is what is the go on.
Yeah, protesters come outside after a rape case in India in support of the case.
Yeah.
And that is just like the world over.
So
people
first
are
lawmakers, then we sort of support it and endorse it, and then years later we take action. So I mean, just don't come out looking good at all.
But there's no way to come out of this looking good, right? It's a disgusting thing that's happened. We should not come out of this looking good. We should not expect to come out of this looking good, because what's happened is, like, the fact that this was even a thought in somebody's head that this is a way to drive a community out of these places is just so ridiculous. I mean,
And
like,
the fact that you're using a temple, there's a caretaker, it's been plotted from point A, B, C. It was all over a call, and it was plotted.
I think don't dilute and politicize and temple size it and all that.
No,
For me,
but
just
I
think of it as a
think
crime
the moment
against
they came
humanity,
out in support of
crime
them,
against
they
a
made
child,
political.
crime against it's just the worst thing a human being can do to.
Listen, I'm not denying that at all, right? I don't disagree with the fact that a crime against a child is the worst kind of crime, right? But crimes against children happen. As much as we might think that they are disgusting and as much as we hate them, they do happen. What takes this to the next level is I think the fact that there was like the Bar Association saying that no, we're not going to let you file a charge sheet against these guys.
Yeah.
Like women from the village saying that no, we'll commit suicide. I was just like, again, wow, Darwin's Law, man, seriously.
Really?
I
What's with
mean,
India and suicide?
But they
honestly?
finally filed the charge sheet, and now the next court hearing is on 20th April.
Right.
And about this case, I mean, essentially what's happening is even the lawyer has been threatened now. The lawyer who's fighting for Asifa, she's been threatened for rape and murder. But this is what happens the minute you speak up, it's lights out. Like, so what's the way forward? And also, whereas children are concerned, firstly,
No, that's because they're
the most
supposedly influential
vulnerable
people.
sect. No, the children are the most vulnerable sect to it. And for men like this, the act of rape is of power, and you've already foreseen.
I'm sick of reasoning about all this and trying to find reasons.
No, there's
and all.
no reason to justify it.
Yeah.
But
I think
simply, you
there
picked on
is
kids
one
because-
reason, which is basically deep down we've got to understand that the Indian male has to be changed. the Indian male has some serious issues.
Well, it's not.
all of us.
It's the.
No, that's the truth.
It's the culture. It's
the culture.
Yeah, it's not about an individual male, right? It's about the
It's not
culture.
about the individual, Amit. It's about the fact that we
Yeah,
suck.
but it's a patriarchal
It happens
culture
too
that
often.
basically
No, but-
has dealt with basically which
More
is
than patriarchal, it's chauvinism. Chauvinism and inability
Well, I mean,
to
like,
empathize
that's
with the other gender. And the problem with that, it happens in the families.
Yeah.
It's always the same reason.
Yeah, it
where
is.
you think the sun is really important. You think the sun shines out, to use a metaphor, pun, out of the sun's ass, which is just ridiculous. It all starts from there.
Wow, we didn't want to talk about this thing at all, did we?
Yeah,
Before we
okay, let's
started?
move on. We made our point.
Okay.
Let's move on. There's
I had a
nothing we
very
can do.
interesting argument, but
Yes.
sure.
No, please, no,
Okay,
make
quick.
The thing is, like, I was talking to comedians last night, and all of them like feel very strongly about this. But also at the same time, the culture is so prevalent that when we talk about ancient times, when men went out for wars and everything, pillaging and raping was like the main criteria of their whole thing. And that's like we've not moved on from that point at all. We still act like we own some
Okay,
people.
not to make light of your statement, but did you mean prevalent or prevalent?
Prevalent. Sorry.
but-
That's the only thing you took away from that.
That's what I got.
I don't see how that applies to this because that's been the case for the entire
Amit,
world.
they're a bunch
Yeah,
of
but-
comedians, not philosophers.
No, I mean,
it's
like-
not exactly the same
No, so, I
thing.
mean, if you're taking
I touched the chord. Look at him. He's upset.
if you're taking a historical perspective on this, right, then I think the argument falls down because when you take a long-term historical perspective, at that point in time, we are not that much further behind other cultures. What we have to look at is the fact that in today's world, this shit's unacceptable.
Exactly.
So kind of put a historical context to it, I think kind of makes light of the situation or not makes light.
No, why are you looking for logic? Just don't look for logic. You're almost humanizing all these people. Don't look for it. Shall we move on now to lighter
Yes,
topics,
yes,
please?
Yes. Do we have lighter topics, Priyanka? Please tell
We
me.
may have
lighter
one.
topics.
Priyanka Chopra came to mind. Yes.
Yeah, Priyanka Chopra came to mind because she signed this next film with Salman, who
The recently bailed out Salman.
recently bailed out Salman from the Black Park case.
But
And
also Quantico was a crime. Nobody spoke about that. Huh?
Baywatch was also a crime then.
Yes, but
Yes.
Baywatch, she didn't make the poster in
She
the
didn't
end.
make the poster, but
Yeah,
she was
so-
a part of
Really?
that
She-
film.
In India,
No,
in India
she
she
wasn't.
did. In India she did.
In India she did.
For the
But
Indian version.
Amazon,
But I
on
saw-
Amazon Prime, all I see is Priyanka Chopra's
Chopra,
face.
yeah,
next to
yeah,
the
yeah,
bed.
yeah.
Watch
The
this.
banner
That's
image
a
is her
bit-
horizontally
yeah.
lying down on the beach.
Yeah, that's a bit, I felt they sold us short. Because if you're a Priyanka Chopra fan, then, you're not going to get that much out of the film.
Okay.
And that's, really throwing a rope a long way into the sea. Sorry. So Salman and Priyanka are back together. We can't wait for the picture to come out. It's called
You
whatever it's
can't wait
called.
for the picture to come out.
I can't wait.
It's called very interestingly. It's called Bharat.
I watched Quantico without the sound, by the way, and I was quite impressed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Didn't miss
that's
a
why.
thing. Didn't
I
miss a
would
thing.
not be
I'm
surprised.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the old Baywatch, where
I-
Pamela Anderson ran through the whole movie. or shows, rather. Yeah, sorry.
I love those kinds of shows, right? I love these kinds of these 40-minute procedural crime dramas.
Yeah.
Quantico was terrible. Like it's
And they've raised the bar, haven't they? In the sense,
terms of terribleness?
non-Quantico, the new shows that are out there with the forensic style, and you're suddenly trying to catch up. And
But there's something so pseudo about these, like something like this is Quantico and even Baywatch, not because Priyanka Chopra is a part of it, but because you have like this Indian perspective somewhere just shoved in,
Yeah.
and you're like, hey,
It's more like, hey, see, we got a female from India.
Yeah.
Let's put her in
whose
this and
mistaken
Hey.
identity happens, the racism.
representation is important.
It's all right, but I think we can give better
but it's
actors.
so
And
pseudo.
and
it's
listen, the
bizarre.
world has progressed from token black to token brown.
Yes,
I mean,
it has.
aren't you proud? I'm
Yeah.
proud.
Yeah.
So the Simpsons addressed the
Token
thing.
brown?
The
Token
token
brown.
brown. So I mean,
They've done so much for Indo-American relations with the shopkeeper Anup.
Apu.
Yeah, Apu.
So, but basically they made the documentary that came out, right? I mean,
Yeah.
which I was supposed to get to, which I don't think I ever did.
Yeah.
But that documentary
Triggered a lot of people.
Triggered a lot of this, right? And the Simpsons reacted to it on the show, and they reacted in pretty much the worst possible way.
Yeah.
By
so
doing?
Basically, Marge is telling Lisa a bedtime story, and she drops a racist comment on that, and there's Apuka photo next to the bed. And Marge says something that started decades ago and was uploaded as inoffensive is now politically incorrect. What can you do? So, and the photo don't have a cow written on it with like Apu's face for some reason. And then she's like, some days will be dealt with at a later date, if at all. And they'll just like push it to a later episode maybe.
It's just such a ridiculous reaction because
Amit, you've taken this very personally.
I do.
still
I
enjoy
am
it.
never like this.
I love racist humor as long as people don't go over the top and it just becomes absolute abuse. I think we should learn to enjoy it. It's fine.
okay, so their point is true. Okay, what they're saying is true, but it's a reacting to The Simpsons from the late 80s to early 90s. It's a point of reaction to Simpsons then. They're still doing that shit.
Yeah.
It's 2019, 18, and they're still doing that shit.
You just hate the action they gave up.
I do.
Blame Peter Sellers in the party.
I do.
40, 50, 60 years ago.
I do.
No, so earlier when Simpsons
My name is Harundi Vipakshe.
What is Harundi?
That's the name he took. I couldn't understand. I searched and asked people, is their name is Harundi anywhere? They just made up a name. On their way to the Pinewood studio, somebody told Peter Sellers, you're going to play the Indian guy. Come on, give us a name. And because he had Indian neighbors, he came up. The Bakshi was the only good part.
So like we were talking about Priyanka Chopra getting representation, right?
Yeah.
When they made The Social Network, there's an Indian character in that movie who's played by a Mexican because he's brown. Like there's no...
That's okay.
No.
So many people of different ethnicities have played
But
different
the actual
ethnicities.
guy
Why is that racist?
The actual guy looks so Indian as hell.
What does that mean? Indians look like anything.
If you're going to give representation, okay, if you're talking about giving...
Did you know Aditya Pancholi is Indian? Indians look like anything.
It's as good as Hank Azaria voicing the guy, right? It's as good as Hank Azaria was
Listen,
two white
when I
men
was in
talking
America,
about-
we did a lot of auditions, for example, for Cuban guys, Iranian guys. That's just, don't take that personally.
But that's a problem. That's systemic
Tomorrow,
problem.
if I was doing Amit's biopic and a German guy looked like him, I'll cast him. The Brazilian guy in Narcos, he's Brazilian. He's not, he's not ethnically from the same group. South American, but come on.
So when Simpsons started, right, like it had like the best writers in the industry. Like Conan was writing for it, right?
Yeah.
And they were mainly focusing on the stories of this weird family.
Yeah.
And all the characters were in the background being stereotypical or whatever.
Exactly.
But now it's taken over.
But it's also a
Now
form of
it's just like
satire,
the-
brother.
The satire kind of went away when the good writers left, right? The show became, after 13 seasons, it went down that same route where they're now playing on the stereotypes, what I'm saying.
I don't know.
It is definitely a show that
Priyanka doesn't watch it for sure. She said
I
nothing.
don't. I have
Why don't you watch
nothing to
Simpsons?
say.
What kind of person are you?
I haven't watched New Simpsons in a long time either.
You got a bee in your bonnet. Or an Indian bee, by the way. What is Indian bee called? C. Because we are backward. Priyanka, say something, yeah?
No, so I think I was cursed. That's why I've kept a
Can I
track
ask you-
of Baywatch and Quantico.
What about Bob Simpson of Australia? Any idea?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Wicketkeeper. No.
No, anything but keeper.
Who's Bob Simpson?
Who's Bob Simpson? One of the great Australian cricketers and coaches of all time. And best slip fielder, one of the best slip fielders. I get into that. You're not interested. Next.
So while we are fretting over Priyanka Chopra and Salman Khan and the worst rape case, but our Prime Minister is on a Euro trip. And he's...
So you want him to cancel it because Priyanka and Salman are making a movie?
No.
Join them there.
Most important thing.
Be honest here.
No.
Speak your heart out.
Really? The whole country is spreading over the fact that our Prime Minister is not around when people are protesting and crying and all our protection is at stake.
I've never had any patience for that article, for that kind of thing. Okay?
Yeah, what
why
is
are
the
you doing
correlation?
this instead of doing this? I've
is the
never had
yeah.
any patience for that
Yeah,
kind
but
of this.
that also, that's also because
You
there
wanna
were
make a you wanna make a difference?
Fingers pointed
Control
to
the
him that he did not have much to say on the case, or he was silent.
So
That's different.
That's
different.
That's a different
You're
point, and
saying
I'm
you should
happy to
drop
make
everything
that.
and come back
I'm happy
here.
to make that point. That you should have spoken out a lot earlier than you did.
Yeah.
Happy to make
I'm
that
saying,
point, but I've never.
Priyanka, sorry, what is your ethnicity?
Sindhi.
Okay, so you don't understand Gujaratis.
I do.
It's May.
I don't understand Gujaratis.
No, Gujaratis. Okay, it's May. Gujaratis in the Western Europe. It's just normal. You just check. Just check. I grew up in Walkeshwar, so I know where my neighbors are. It's May. They're gone.
So
just look around.
To look at what Priyanka's trying to say. For example, every time the politicians go on stage and they're like, "Hamari betiya, hamara country."
And that's one of his big points.
Beti Bachao was his biggest campaign.
Yeah.
Now, if your own daughter was going through this in your own country, would you not leave a trip behind?
Listen, guys, let's understand one
You
thing.
have to-
I understand
you're a little
socio-political and all of
No,
that
it's-
stuff.
it's-
And-
you're getting
It's-
emo-
able to do
it's
two
as
things at
simple
once.
as-
I understand your heart is in the right place, but I'm saying try and address this issue correctly. His job is to run the country. Or we have a terrible thing happening in the country, yes. But we have what is
But
called a
this
home
case has
minister.
become so
If you want to get
political.
if you want to get
It's no more
technical,
about
we have a home
justice.
minister. This falls under his purview. Secondly, and most importantly, it all starts at home. First, train the men in your families. Why do you have a surname?
Exactly.
Why do we
It
keep our
starts at
husbands?
home, so he
Why do we
should
keep our
be-
husbands?
he should be
It's not
relevant
about
to his
him.
own country.
He's not going to clean up anything. We have to clean it up.
Yeah, I mean,
it starts at
it's an
the
executive position who is basically making decisions on the.
Look, you can't just point to the Prime Minister and say everything is his fault.
It's not his fault.
The silence
it's
is
his fault to
definitely-
troubleshoot.
I'm not
silence is his
supporting him.
fault.
I'm just saying you can't. This is the easy way out. His fault. His fault.
It's not his
we're not
fault.
saying his
It's
fault.
not
No,
about-
but the silence is his fault, right? I mean, like the fact that he shut up
Or
about this
perhaps
for
he's
as
not
long
said
as
the
he
right
did.
thing at the right time. No doubt.
That is his fault. But I mean, like to say that you got to abandon everything and now you just have to. You can't do that.
No,
right?
we have a system in
But
place.
there
It
are
can
no
be dealt.
directives coming from him about
We have a
troubleshooting
home
this
minister.
whole
That's a
thing.
different point,
All
and I'm happy to
crime-
argue that point, and I'm happy to agree with you on that point. But to say that he shouldn't go abroad while this is going on.
We have a women and child industry. We have a home minister. These are the areas which they have to tackle. They're there. We have all the machinery in place. We have courts.
And what about when the female BJP leaders, when the rapes were happening back in 2013, for example, Sushma Swaraj, Smriti Irani were all on top of this and wanted the government out for that very reason. And again, I went to their Twitter profiles, nothing.
I agree with you. They have behaved terribly around this. I'm not trying to defend them in any way whatsoever. I'm just saying that there are other things going on in this country besides the Asifa case. That might be dominating the news. That might be the thing that everybody is seeing first right now. But there are other things that need to be done.
No, listen, we have to understand one thing. Their code of silence. Obviously, this is shameful and disgusting. The government may fall over this also at the end of the day. Because no one can understand or empathize at any point that, you didn't know about this? Come on.
Yeah.
This code of silence is terrible. What they call Omerta in Sicily, where I come from. But having said that, I think we have to stop pointing fingers and looking for daddy to help. Daddy's not going to help.
Yeah.
What's going to happen here? Women have to take over this country and have a stronger position, as I tell my daughter every single day, and it has to start at home, in the way the fathers, uncles and all get away with the kind of lifestyles, and it's a subcultural thing. It has to stop now in this generation, the next lot. Priyanka, assert yourself more. We are bullying you here and you've not said a thing.
Cyrus, can I ask you,
Tell me.
for one day, if in a situation like this, if you had to be the Prime Minister, what would you do? Would you fly out?
See, I am an egalitarian fascist. So what happens is that personally, I'm a huge egalitarian. Like, I hate being called sir, and I'm very good with people who I don't know. But as a person running something, I think my fascist tendencies will come out. So I would just come and start destroying people. I would just shoot people. Because I believe that human beings are terrible, vicious, evil, antagonistic, acquisitive by nature, and just the worst form of...
Would you go for a Euro trip in May?
I would. May is the month.
Yeah?
Yep. You get discounts, Lala tours. Haven't you heard?
Selective evolution is the key.
Instead of being the Prime Minister.
Those tours can't be missed. Come on, Priyanka, be human.
A big part of the Prime Minister's job is face-to-face.
As Salman told me on a t-shirt, be human, for God's sake.
And everybody follows that.
Well, he's also sort of like a minister. All right, let's move on.
I think we should talk about the Kapil Sharma controversy quickly.
Yeah.
Because, again, while we're talking about Salman and the fan following that, kind of worships him as an idol.
Right.
Same thing happened with Kapil Sharma, where there's a proper audio recording of him abusing a reporter and calling him very bad things. And
not the same thing as killing an endangered species, although journalists are endangered.
This is a pattern we've been seeing with this guy for a while now. Sunil Grover, Alias Girl, all of them.
But it's all drinking issues, right?
Yeah, it's alcoholism.
So I think the issue is alcoholism more than him,
But
screaming.
he's telling the guy, the reporter, that your daughter wants to sleep with me, send him over. Again, we're talking about culture, right? And this is the problem. We have these idols.
He didn't know the gender.
What?
No, go on.
So he's saying that send your daughter over to me, she wants to sleep with me, all of that. So again, we're talking about culture again and again, because this is the problem, right? We have these people who are on the pedestal and talking like this.
Okay.
So we have
Priyanka, what's your say on this?
How influencers, people, there are, I think more than half of our population watches a show like this.
Yeah.
And people follow, I think when his show stopped airing on Sony, on Colors first, and then got back on another channel, people... there was this, I remember my mom, there are people who were extremely sad about it, and it's even worse that you have an opinion which is so dismissive about, he's so open about the fact that, it's, his comment was outrageous. So isn't there, I think when there are these media laws that journalists can, we are in charge of defamation and all that, what about when people talk like this?
You can sue him.
But it's a recording against his wishes. Recording against his wishes can't be held in court.
Disposal of
No, see,
Twitter
as an entertainer, although we are on the lowest form of the entertainment chain, almost like the squid's food, which apparently is very small and like molluscs and those kind of little things that are smaller than your finger, as some sort of entertainer, I must say, the biggest punishment you can give an entertainer is turn your back to him. And Kapil Sharma will just be another Mr. Sharma working in a bank. Maybe Punjab National Bank, where money's already gone.
But I think we've gone too far with giving him
my
so much
wasted.
attention.
It's just wasted.
No, we've given too much attention to this guy. So everything he says.
Yeah, but he's a celebrity.
Gold.
He's a big name, so he'll get attention. The sad part is that this is not a new trend across the world. We have people behaving like louts who are also talented and have big names and great followings. This is part
But the problem is that he has the power to influencing so many people who probably access
He
his
couldn't influence
content.
the BMC about his mosquito issue. I mean, come on. He's got his own problems.
I'm glad he didn't let him. Let them come and bite him in the wrong places.
They're female mosquitoes, just for
Great,
that.
even better.
The male mosquito can't do a thing. We should
Bite,
learn
not
from the
bite.
mosquito. Learn from the mosquito.
Yeah, the female mosquito wants to bite him. Cool. So that's it from.
I don't know. I got nothing out of this Kapil Sharma discussion. I don't know what y'all are trying to say. Priyanka was talking about some defamation case which I didn't follow, and I don't know. You said nothing.
I said that he's being like this alcoholic, abusive person.
So what
for
do
a
you
while
think
now.
is the solution? What is the step that
Send
should
him
be
to
taken?
rehab and like put
But send him. Why? Who sends him? Why should anybody
his
send
family.
him?
He's a millionaire. Why do we have to help?
Why would anybody want to? Why is it anybody else's responsibility for himself?
No, basically right now his show is failing. The TRPs
Yeah.
are low. The movie that he did flopped as well. Like
Yeah.
one more movie got shelved. So he's at his own show is not turning up because drinking in the vanity van. That's
So-
what the reporter was claiming to have.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
No,
And
he has
that's
a
what
drinking problem.
triggered-
That's been established.
Yeah.
And
So that's what triggered him. And then like I think in any convenient point of view that if you just like abuse somebody and you think that's the way to get out.
I think Kapil Sharma is getting away with something bigger here which you guys haven't followed. He's not a tipper. He's been drinking for years and not tipping, which is another huge Indian thing. I mean, you drink, you have fun, you make comments, and then nothing to the waiter. And for that, he's paying today. For that, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
And this is something you would not pouring light
how
on.
can
a
we
little
miss
bit.
this critical
Why did you miss
point
that?
on
Why would you?
Cyrus?
Yeah. All right. Any last comments on Kapil Sharma's obnoxious behavior?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sadly. We're done with
No, go ahead.
Kapil
Go,
Sharma.
please.
No, I don't know. It's just, as you
If you
said,
have angst in your heart, take it out.
I always have angst in my heart for such cases.
Just do speak then.
I think we'll move on to the...
So you don't have angst in your heart?
No, not anymore.
You lost interest in your heart?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a heartless person.
You're telling me. I hardly know you, but I agree.
Okay, AMAs.
AMAs?
Okay. We've run out of conversation for the first time on our show.
Yes, we
Kapil
have.
Sharma has destroyed us before we destroyed him. His obnoxious behavior with alcohol tells us one thing: we have to change from coffee. Amit,
Yes.
coffee's not doing it for us. You can see by the way the show is panned out. So, is it possible for us to lower the standards?
Let's figure something out.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe ganna, as in juice.
Yeah, that we can do.
Not Bengali for song. All right, AMAs.
Hey friend, so if you're listening to a podcast right now, you're probably some kind of a nerd. A nerd at heart at least. So maybe, just maybe, you might like another podcast about nerds, by nerds, and for nerds.
It's called Geek Fruit, a community to unite estranged geeks from across India and later on the world. We talk about television, movies, science fiction, adventure, fantasy, etc. Anything nerdy, it's all here on Geek Fruit. You can catch a fresh episode every Monday.
And you can check us out on any of your favorite podcast apps, like my favorite podcast app, the IVM podcast app. Give me my money, IVM.
Good plug.
Happy listening, you nerds.
If you have any questions for Cyrus, write to us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Or you can send an email to whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
Welcome back to the AMAs. It's a formal show, I'm told, and if you don't welcome back, you have no idea what we're doing. Take radio back 30 years. Firstly by employing me, now this.
I'm doing my job.
You're not doing any job.
I
Put your
am.
hands on the table if you're doing anything. All right. Sorry, Priyanka, go on.
So, presuming that Cyrus still listens to music after the Beatles, does he often
I
suffer?
think that's a fake assumption.
Yeah. Go on, go
Okay,
on.
go ahead.
Often,
Suffer.
does he often suffer from the earworm phenomena?
Earworm.
Earworm phenomena. What one should do to get rid of a
Priyanka,
song?
how can we be funnier?
I can't read.
No, I'm saying, but we can't be funnier now.
I know that.
You've killed the
Earworm.
humor.
I've killed
Earworm.
everything.
How do you earn a worm?
She killed Kapil Sharma 5 minutes ago and now me. You killed two comedians in one
Yeah,
session.
Yeah.
This is not happening.
Okay, sorry,
Such
go ahead,
a
go
bad
ahead.
day.
So, if you're the earworm?
Can I just do this entire question again?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And if you say the wrong thing again, it'll be even funnier. So
It'll
go on.
still be on.
Oh, we'll play music. Underlay. Come on, go.
Cyrus is 1, I'm 0. Okay, let's see.
Me-
Presuming
She's keeping a score, huh?
giving us
For some reason, I'm getting scared now.
Yeah, you should be.
It's one of the militant
for
women.
the first time
Yeah.
ever. Cyrus, presuming that Cyrus still listens to music after the Beatles, does he often suffer from the earworm phenomena? What should one do to get rid of a song continuously playing in the head?
You know, more than
It's
that,
my joy.
More than that, I have a problem. I'm getting Alzheimer's, I think, early Alzheimer's. If I like a song, I'm having trouble remembering lyrics beyond a point, so I sing the same lines again and again. Mika did this for a show, or on an MTV show with me once, when I just pulling his leg after 7 Punjabi songs, God bless Punjab. I said, bro, can we have one English song? Which plays good guitar and all. Actually, don't know. Mika's a good musician with a good voice. So I said, what the hell, he probably knows the odd. And so he decided to sing Queen. And he plays a decent guitar. He pulled out his guitar and baje, ho jayega. And he took out the thing and he started. And it was I Want to Break Free, and I'm going to now do my rendition. Excuse me. Give me a G, yaar. I want to break free. 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 He sang well, but it was one line because he didn't know any other line. And all the intonations were with that one line.
Exactly how it sounds. Yeah.
And we liked it. We all enjoyed it, but we were also laughing. But it was very entertaining.
That would
so
be
I
fun.
have that problem. I don't know if you guys have that problem. It stays in my ear, and I have only one line in loops. So I got this one line looping.
So the question is, how do you get over that earworm?
I don't know.
Make Mika sing this.
I think you got to give in to it. It's like alcohol.
Yeah,
you just have to give in to it.
gotta-
Let it go out of your system because it just keeps coming back.
You know what's the best way?
But till the next song
to
comes
make
out.
that song like your life's anthem and share it with the person.
There was a sick man who did a song called Please Don't Go when I was in college.
Oh, yeah.
It had the same line for 4 hours.
Please don't go.
So we were at Leopold Cafe trying to get people drunk and it would be, please don't go. Please don't go. Don't go. Please don't go. Please don't go. Please don't. It just went on and on.
Also,
Am I
where do you
drunk?
go?
Was it not stopping? It just go on.
Have you got Where Do You Go, which is also the same
Similar?
thing. Where do you go? Oh, this is Where Do You Go like 10 to 20 times.
And then this
in
guy
one.
makes millions of dollars for one line.
Yeah.
Tunak Tunak Daler, which is the brother of Mika. Tunak Tunak is like 15 times.
Yeah.
Tunak 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 Tunak. It just goes on.
15,000 is like...
Yeah. Huge hit.
That's the cheat code of writing.
So when you like
I
a song,
don't-
right, make it like your anthem for your romantic relationship, and once you break up, the song is no more
There's
interesting.
something in our DNA where,
but then you look back and then you feel sad.
No, you don't listen to that song. Delete from your
Ever.
playlist.
No, that's the marginal utility of the product going down because you've killed it like that. My point is there's something in our DNA where we seem to just, I don't know, it just stays with you and you're actually enjoying it in some way. Maybe in some perverse way,
I
but you're
don't
enjoying
think so. The
But
stuff
then,
that
but
gets
then why doesn't it go?
the stuff that gets stuck in my head is like elevator music, right? Because there'll be like this kind of
Yeah.
weird.
And you only get 45 seconds.
Yeah, and you get this weird version of like Careless Whispers
Yeah.
or like some song from the 80s, Eurythmics or something like that.
Forgive me, Naveen, for saying this, but there can be some really gay music out there. I mean, it's just amazing.
What's gay music?
I know, I don't mean this
Define
in
it.
very
No,
disrespectful.
if you're going to be like all callous about dropping the word gay, you have to like define it.
Oh my God, you can kill me. First the feminist, now the homo fist. I got nowhere to... what about my friend Appu? I can't make Appu jokes. I got nowhere to go. Yeah, so then you're right. This elevator music is another genre.
That's the one that really drives me because that's the one that gets stuck, and then I can't remember
it's
an hour
fun.
later where it's stuck from.
Listen, what about elevator music is in a hospital? Talk about, context. So you're in a hospital, somebody's dying, you're in tears, you're standing there and there's this strange Simon
It's
Garfunkel.
trying to change your
Yeah, wow! The guy's dying.
It's trying to change your mood, guys.
No, it doesn't work. La la la, la 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 la. Mommy! It doesn't work.
Please
Oh,
close
God.
the door.
All of us are going out of this.
And why do they, now that you bring that up, why do they have to have that monotone?
Yeah.
When they give you instructions.
Krupya
Thank
darwaza band
darwaza band kijiye. Please close the
shut the
door. I can't speak in any other way.
Yeah.
I will now eat lunch.
my
My
friends-
sister has 3 nipples. What's your point?
My friend's building, the lift does not shut up until you reach the top floor. Like basically, it just keeps on saying that while the lift.
Naveen, there must be somebody out there whose social life sucks so badly that no one's watching. He goes in the lift and just goes up and down.
Listen to music?
No, because that person's talking.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the Big Bang Theory with our friend,
Yeah.
the Indian guy,
Kunal Nair.
Kunal Nair, and his love for Siri.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that. No
okay,
one's
yeah.
there. You can just go up and down. And
She's
listen.
like-
because it's like she's talking to you. Please shut the elevator door.
You don't tell me what to do, okay? I close my own door.
Sorry, Priyanka, we lost the
So
question.
the next, I'm moving on to the next question because I better do.
Yeah. Why don't you read it once?
Okay, score what?
Wait,
2-0?
I'm joining the PM. I'm off to start.
You better not. Okay, so why does Cyrus not know beforehand whether the guest will stay on for the AMAs? Pallavi Kulkarni.
This is a perfectly good question. I accept this criticism. And I don't, firstly, I'm the most haphazard anchor. I admit that and, take it for granted. Fair enough. But producer takes some blame, yeah.
I do.
If I have a haphazard producer and an uninterested proprietor, and let's not talk about the engineer who's fast asleep the moment he presses play. So,
So how it works,
it's a work in
Pallavi,
progress.
is basically we have the guests on the show, and towards the end of the episode, when we figure if we want to keep the guest on for the AMA, we keep them. Sometimes we don't. It's all a personality thing.
Also, sometimes they want to go early and we're not sure.
Yeah,
They run late.
It's a lot of parameters that go
Everybody's
into
a
this.
star in India, so you got to let them go. Yeah.
It's timing, slotting, all of that stuff.
Could we buried the answer in bureaucratic speak?
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
it. Yeah. It's to do with lighting.
Okay, so
Pallavi, is it? It's to do with
Pallavi,
writing.
did you
yeah.
say
I said
my name
Priyanka,
again?
It's okay. It's 2-1 now.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Want to thank your podcast, Cyrus says, for easing our
Sorry.
operating room tense environment while I am operating.
What?
Previously,
We just made jokes about the hospital and the music. Oh God.
let me finish.
This guy's a surgeon.
Oops.
Previously,
Ouch.
we used to play song continuously in our OR operating room to ease a bit of anxious and nervous minds while operating. Everybody is loving it. Devang Nayak, is this question for real?
No, but my worry is if they do something wrong,
Yeah.
if he takes the wrong kidney or whatever, boom, they'll blame us.
Yeah.
We can blame the guest. We should always blame. Let's put a little thing in the beginning. The guest is to blame for anything that goes wrong
Or
during
the
operation.
medical
Or the elevator music.
Or the PM. It's easy.
Or Apu and the Simpsons. They're responsible for everything. Priyanka,
super
Priyanka
scary.
is making
This is
fun.
super
He's making fun.
scary.
This is real satire. You didn't pick it up.
Yeah.
I'm looking at our
After the
next
whole
question.
show. Oh, you're doing more questions?
Yeah, of course.
We can't go above this operating theatre thing.
Yeah.
We've been given a medical license now. Do you understand? My mom will be proud. In a way, Amit's mom and my mom wanted us to be doctors. We're
Yeah.
Varkeshwar boys.
Yeah.
Either you're in business, you're a doctor, or you're a lawyer. We're none of these. So we can go back and say, in a way, we are part of the medical fraternity.
So you're part of the medical community.
Yes, because when Mrs. Sharma's lungs are being removed, they listen to IPL fight between Chennai and Hyderabad.
Please close the lungs.
At least we're laughing. I wish we were listening. Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps, please. We beg you, we need you. If you have any questions, write to us online and you can mail us as well. We will answer. We have a doctor in the house called May.
And that's what Cyrus says.
As you can see, we have a podcast listener in his natural habitat. Millions of years of evolution have led him to this point. He's on his way to work and listening to podcasts makes his miserable day better. He will now head to work and use all his knowledge to communicate with other colleagues and possibly future mates. You can find more of his species on ivmpodcasts.com, your one-stop destination where you can check out all the coolest Indian podcasts. Happy listening.